Welcome back to Capybara Go, and today we will talk about the build that will be really useful for the beginners and will allow you guys to push through the early game through all the way to chapter 2025, and it will be based on the really easy to obtain items available for the new player. But before we go, I would like to ask you to subscribe and like the video to promote it in YouTube algorithms. And with that out of the way, we can move on to the actual gear. So the key for the gear is getting 2 of those Guardian's rings. They will help you drastically because they will give you shields, and each of those will give you 10% of maximum HP shield for 2 rounds, and they stack. So having 2 of those will allow you to get more of those shields. They also throw daggers that you can use together with the proper skills in order to utilize it for additional rage generation or whatever you want, like healing. So 2 of those items at epic rarity will allow you to get extra shields, and you can build them up slowly, and sometimes you can get lucky with the pool. And those will be the rings that we will use. For the accessories, we will use Icy Bubble because that thing will allow us to trigger icy spikes that can actually freeze the enemies, stun them, so we will have more time to do damage and survive the attack. So we will use 2 of those. I even have the S tier ring, but I don't use it because it's not as good as those items. For the armor, we will go with the tunic. This is one of the best non-S tier items, and it will help you out in the long run as well. It's not only useful for early game, it will be useful for the later game as well because of its attack bonuses. So it's really nice to have it early on and upgrade it so you can get extra attack. For the weapon, we will use Warrior's Blade, but honestly, I don't think it's the best item, because this critical damage boost only works if you will be able to land the critical, and the stat bonus here is combo rate. I wasn't lucky with other options, but most of those S tier weapons will be better because their secondary bonus is higher, so you can actually get more. So for example, with the Sky Splitter, you can get way higher combo rate and more stats. If you will be able to get something of S tier, it will most likely will be better, but we will focus on the normal stuff. You still need to get lucky with that, right? Nomad Sword is purely trash because it's beginner weapon, never use that. So I really like the combo rate on the Warrior's Sword and the Warrior's Blade because it allows you to get some of those hits in, and we will actually utilize those extra combos and the extra hits to trigger a lot of things for us. The very common option is going with the Nomad Bow, because it gives you critical rate and critical damage, so you don't really need to get the critical rate perk skill in the run in order to get the criticals. But outside of that, I don't think it's that much better, but it can work as well. And since it's a beginner's guide, we won't talk about those legendary and mythic bonuses, because by that time you will most likely get an S tier weapon, so you won't be using those weapons at that rarity. Well, maybe you will at legendary. And for the legendary, both of those swords have global attack bonus. All the weapons have global attack bonus, other than the hammers and staffs. But I prefer to go with the attack other than defense and more of a combo build. So yeah, I would recommend going with either Warrior's Sword or Warrior's Blade. Warrior's Blade is a bit better for the longer fights, which we will try to do because it will have higher critical damage bonus if it's stacked, but you need to stack for that. So this one is better for the shorter fights. Whatever you get, just upgrade it, it will be good enough. Another good mention is Frostbite Spear because it allows Icy Spear on the rage skill that can actually stun the enemy and freeze them, but it has counter rate and counter attack damage, which I don't really like to use, so I wouldn't recommend it that much, but it's another good option for you. If you are lucky with S tier weapons, rings or accessories, I advise you guys to consult the guide. It depends what do you get, because Dragon's Breath armor is really good for chapter pushing, while Revival Cape will be way better for the tower. We will make a guide for that S tier equipment and proper builds later on, but right now it's beginner's build, so we focus on like low tier stuff. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the pets. The best pets you can get right now early on are those 2 fellas, Snowy and Ice Shroom. Snowy will allow you to freeze enemies for 1 round every 4 rounds, which is really nice, and Ice Shroom will give you extra shield of 10% of your max HP. So we are heavily focusing on the shields and freezes in order to push forward. I personally found a random legendary cactus fighter that I got lucky with to be useful as well, because it does crazy amount of damage. But most of the time you probably will be more lucky with those two guys, because they are more reliable for your survivability, and if you can survive, the damage doesn't really matter because you will die anyway. As for the pet build, we don't really do build because that is very, very expensive. You can do 1 or 2 rolls from time to time just to get something in, but honestly I advise to save those up for better pets and save those up for events when you can actually spend them and get rewards for that. So let's get like random stuff over here. Crit damage, I'm okay with that, let's go. And if you are more a pain player and you unlock 3rd pet, well, get those 2 guys. And since I'm still a new, we will use Wiki for the rest of the pets that you can get. Okay, legendary, Ice Wind Fox is good, then the little elephant is good as well, and those are the only good legendary pets that you would like to use. Afterwards goes mythic guides, which are really hard to get. So you get Flash by default on day 7 of sign-in event. Let's actually get him. And even though the stats are really nice, its bonuses are not that fantastic, so you can use it instead of this guy, for example. Although Flash is really good against the boss because ball damage gives additional percentage of target's current HP as a damage, so that can take out enemies who are really strong, really easy, or well, at least do insane damage. And the stat bonuses are nice as well. You can enhance him without copies. So is it like that for all the mystic pets? This is pretty cool. Other notable mystic pets that you would like to use are Slime King, who is good at the combo counter, Unicorn for the crit build, and Purple Demon Fox for vulnerability build. And if you can get Elsa somehow, she is really good because she allows you to do so much more to the enemies, reducing their attack and increasing their damage taken, which is extremely powerful. Well, most of those immortal guys are really nice, right? So with this out of the way, you have your equipment, you have your pet. Collectibles, well, you get wherever you can, same with the mount and artifact upgrades. Now you will need proper skills during the run, which will make your run way smoother and which will benefit from your equipment, pets and all that. There are different options there. Since you have 4 daggers from the Guardian Rings, you can use those daggers to your own good by getting a Rage Dagger, Healing Dagger, and, well, probably that's the most useful, maybe Lightning Dagger as well. Rage Dagger and Healing Dagger will allow your daggers to do quite a lot for you, especially if it's combined with the dagger cooldown, so they will be shot every round. That will help you so much. And Combo Dagger to throw 2 daggers in a row, so all of those things will help you quite a lot. The problem is you can't really define your build because you will get random skills and you might not get what you want. So you have to adapt and play from there. So right now we get the dagger, and then we'll get something else. The really cool skills, we will need to make a tier list of skills for that. The really good skills are War Veteran, Battle Hardened. Those skills will give you attack boost or damage reduction boost every level, so for longer fights, which we're aiming to do, that will help you out so much. Those are pretty much a must if you want to beat the bosses that are really tough otherwise. If you are doing the bold build, Super Lightning is good, like, you have to adapt. Indestructible is good because even though it will lower your damage reduction will increase. Combo Spirit is nice if you are doing combos, so you can combo up to 2 times. And of course, bonuses to your attack, life and defense are always good. If you are doing combo build, combo proficiency will be really useful because every time you will combo during the fight, you will increase your attack and it will stack till the end of the fight. So it will give you 10% attack per combo hit, so you can get so many combos up and that will increase your attack drastically. This is another type of the build that you can do. And if you get in some skills that give you more rage, you can actually focus on using rage triggering things, like Rage Shield or maybe Rage Heal. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere around. There we go, Rage Heal. Using Rage skill restores a bit of HP, so those will improve your survivability. But you can also get Rage Icy Spikes, Lightning, or whatever you want to focus on. Another good thing are damage reduction bonuses from any tier, common, legendary. They are all really good because that will allow you to survive way longer. Where is this? So getting the damage reduction buffs will really help you out to survive longer, just as getting additional defense. Royal Crown is good as well because it gives you flat stat bonuses. Critical dodge, critical shield is nice. Critical recovery is really good as well. It's even better than the critical shield because overall you will recover more health than you would gain with the shield. Critical frenzy is nice. It will give you additional defense and attack at 50%. So there are plenty of good skills. The problem is you need to get them. So let's do a fast run and we'll try to get the right build here and see how it will go. Don't forget that you can refresh your skills, and sometimes you can change the rarity during that, because if you will get mythic skill and you will refresh, you will most likely get the normal skill. So be careful with doing that. But just like that, we managed to get the hardened with the damage reduction. So now we should be stronger. Some events can actually give us skills as well. And since we are trying to do the combo build, things that will work with attack will be really nice, since we are trying to do several attacks in a row. And that means that we will be able to get more chances to trigger attack, how do you call them? Things that are triggered on the attack. Frozen Touch can be a really good skill in order to take out enemies, because it can execute weak enemies, and every Icy Spike can do that. So that will give you the chance to one-shot the normal enemies. That might help a lot with the progression. The bosses aren't always the toughest thing, but instead, yeah, that will add additional Icy Spikes. So let's get that instead. So let's see if it will work on the enemy. It didn't work, okay. When you get something like this, the skills that you don't need, you really need to reroll. And you want to save that refresh to the point when you get that. So instead you can get something cool. Let's get additional dagger, and all daggers have chance to trigger bolt. I think it will work with our cloudy guy here, but I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, I really like the dagger builds. They look really fun, but they are not really optimal for this setup that we have over here. But look at that. A lot of daggers are flying, and each of those can give us bolt, and well, that's it. So we don't have any rage and healing daggers yet. The good thing that our defense and damage reduction is strong enough, so the mini boss can't really harm us. So that means that we are doing a really good job so far, and we need to do just what we're doing in order to progress faster and don't die to the boss. Let's see what we get in the treasure chest. Most bosses drop some really powerful bonuses later on, and combo spirit is something that we would like to get here. Both of those, like all of those, are really good. Firecracker is one turn only though, so it's not that important. Moreover, our pet will attack the enemy and it will freeze them. But sometimes if you don't get that, that might help you a lot. Trinity Force is really cool for all the bonuses, but combo is just too good to skip that, especially since we're trying to do the combo build. Angel gives us attack bonus, which is really cool. We get bad luck and losing max HP. I hate that. I'd rather take damage, but we should be good enough for a while. The thing is, with the shield build, you want to have really high health pool, because shield scales from your HP. So every time you get lower HP, max HP, your shield will be less effective, and that's a pain. But other than that, you should be okay, even with some minor debuffs here and there. Let's get the Icy Spikes that will cause the enemy to get more damage. The event that will give you negative results, even with the lower chance of getting the rewards, are usually worth it to try anyway, so don't miss that. After all, it's RNG. If you fail, you can try again, and it's not that expensive, but the bonuses you can get are even more important and even more useful. There we go, we get healing dagger right now, so every dagger will have a chance to heal us, and it's really timely because we're taking a lot of damage. And Bolty here, honestly, not a really good companion because it does percentage of enemy HP as a damage and doesn't work for us. Here, it's pretty useless. Alright, let's get Healing Dagger Plus, so we'll have higher chance of healing from the dagger. I hope it will be enough for us to heal. Oh my god, this dude is horrible. But we get pretty good healing from those daggers. That might actually save us in the long run, but we don't have that many stuns. We don't get Veteran for increasing attack every turn. So we might get our ass kicked here. Oh my god. Daggers heal us up. And it has the goddamn counter attack. So we might get our ass kicked here. Yep, so we managed to do another run, get a little bit different setup of skills. Actually, we managed to get a pretty good amount of combo skills. We managed to get Crit Mastery. I didn't want that, but they didn't have any other options. Shrink, and we have some Rage bonuses. We have high rage at the start of the fight, and Rage will restore some HP, some health here, some health restore, some balls on attack, and War Veteran, which is the most important. And some of that, not the best build yet, but I have a feeling it will do way better against the level 40 boss. Let's see what do we learn here. Oh my god, just upgrade of what we have already. Let's get better healing on the Rage, maybe, I don't know. None of those are really good, but now we are facing Battle Guardian, and we have different boss here, which is extremely important because this one doesn't counterattack that much. And we should be able to do a better job, although its damage can be pretty decent as well. So let's see how it will go. Last time we were completely decimated by the boss. This time we will see how it will go. Maybe we have a chance of winning this, maybe not. I don't know. This is a roguelike game, so you will have to attempt multiple times to do something significant, and at least we get some shield and it doesn't become that much stronger. Man, we are so dead. But it was closer, so just like that you can go through the runs, and for example, in my previous run, which is shown on the screen right now, I've managed to get pretty good amount of skills. We managed to get War Veteran and the one that will increase our damage resistance over turns, and it went way better. So with enough amount of tries, you should be able to get good results and be able to plow through the content. It takes time, but I mean, you're progressing and pushing, right? And here is a playthrough that I did later that day, and we managed to get the combo build here with pretty good bonuses. So we get even some dagger bonuses out there, and that one worked really well. Hardened helped a lot, and I'm fighting the boss. The same boss that totally decimated us, and it was so much easier. As you can see, the poor fella can't do any damage to me because damage resistance scales up. You can see all the damage buffs that have been stacked up because of the combo, and it all adds up in the end, and we barely finished him. Actually, it was easy. And here is another playthrough. Here I decided to go for critical build, which worked really well as well. We get a lot of combo, critical, damage buffs. We have plenty of thunderstorm, randomly got it all. And yeah, some crit mastery here, Trinity Force for extra crit. And of course we get hardened, so we will get more damage resistance later on. I actually figured out that this build will work a bit later, so we could get some playthrough here and see how we will fare against the normal enemies as well. And hint, we will do pretty well. Although at some point I was a bit worried that I will lose. So here is the enemy, the Necromancer, and this is how it goes. We basically just massacre it with a lot of effects over here. On the fourth round it was stunned, it was slowed, it was small, and it got decimated. I was trying to figure out what would be the best pick for this option, and I think I'll go for counter. Usually I would go with the poison dagger. Oh, I went for the poison dagger, so we will have more daggers since we have so many options. Here in this round we get the lucky merchant, so I was hoping to get the mythic. No luck there, and we only managed to get 2 skills, which is not that good. And here I started to get worried that I will be destroyed, especially by those annoying skeletons. But as you can see, during the fight it wasn't that much of a problem. Our defense, our damage resistance, and all our buffs together, they just allowed us to decimate the enemies completely. Take a look at those criticals, 500,000 a hit. That's really cool. And since we get the sword that increases critical damage every time you crit during the combat, during the long fights, it helps you even more. So this build could be even better if we would score something like lightning, becomes like the mythic lightning buff. I forgot what it's named to give lightning even stronger bonus, but War Veteran, the buff for the damage reduction, the combo, all those things come together to a pretty crazy buff. Here I will get the damage reduction, I think, just in case, so I will be stronger. Let's see what do I get. I don't remember, it was yesterday, so totally different. Yeah, hardened. So we are even tougher right now, and I fight a dangerous enemy here to figure out if we'll get any good buffs here. Werewolf was my pick, and it was so easy. This moment I realized that I'm going to win this. Because that poor bastard can't do a single damage through my shield. Yeah. We could get the shield on attack here. That would make this build even stronger. Right now we don't have any of that. And that's a bit sad. But the treasure that contains even more buffs. And I think I went for Tyrant for extra DPS. I'm not entirely sure. Spellmaster would be good if we would get the Bolt Mastery something, so we could do crazy damage with that. But instead, I'm focusing on critical right now and wanted to see how it will go. And it went pretty well, especially with our sword. They go really well together. Stone Spirit is giving us additional bonus. I'm going for the heavy attack plus here, I think. Critical Frenzy plus, so we are going all in on the critical. And the final vampire boss. I thought it will be an epic fight. In reality, the poor fella never stood a chance. Take a look at that. It's been decimated. This is so fun. I really like when you get lucky and your skills all come together. He actually managed to damage me, which was surprising, but not for long. I really lack health recovery skills here. So if the enemy will get through, they can do pretty decent damage. But as you can see, they managed to take only 1/3 of my health, and in the end, we managed to win again. Let me know in the comments if you have other tips for the new player builds, and if I made some mistakes in this one, fix them as well. That will help the community. And please like the video and subscribe to the channel to promote the video in YouTube algorithm, and check out the video description for the wiki and playlist with the rest of the videos, and the Discord link as well. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. It's been Stan Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.